So
Obviously, you like it.
oh yeah,
It's good information.
It intrigued me. So basically, like
Yeah.
I was tuned in from A all the way to the, I was like, dang man,
Really?
yeah,
I
it
just
was.
gotta make sure I don't got the duty pillow
Nah,
this
you
time.
ain't got the duty. I think,
Cause you seen in the beginning of the last
yeah,
episode, I had
no,
the
I
duty
think
pillow.
no. Donna actually saw it and she told them, and they came and watched it yesterday. Actually,
Yeah, it smells good.
yeah. Donna was like, just let you know,
Shoot.
and she was like, oh really?
They
Like,
use Downy. Just
yeah.
kidding.
I was like, dude.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we can go ahead and jump right into it, man.
All right, let's do it.
Welcome to the Where My Dad's At podcast. I'm Will. It's your man Marco right here, fitness trainer extraordinaire. He done been to some conferences and learned some stuff, brought some valuable information.
Oh, yeah.
We're bringing it to you right by the pool. We're gonna share it with you.
Oh yeah.
We're excited to be back by the pool. It's hot out here today, man.
It's hot, but I'll take it though.
It's hot out here today. Nah, it's lovely, man. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
We had a busy week or so, man.
Yeah, we did, man.
Yeah.
we did, man.
Yeah.
I survived.
You survived. That's what I was gonna say. So we can start off right there. Like,
all right.
You say you survive mentally, spiritually. Like, where you at on a scale of 1 to 100? Where you at right now? 100 being you charged up and you ready to get into it. 0 being like, man, I need to go take a nap. My mind ain't right.
No, so if you say that, I would say then on Friday I was at 85.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, I'm done, right?
Right.
And then
Well, 85 is still good.
it's okay. Yeah. And then Saturday I took the time to recuperate, get rest up, whatever. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I'm using like 95% of my brain.
Right.
Actually, I use 100% of my brain.
Okay.
Right, and I was just exhausted, whatever. Going around, connecting,
Right.
business cards,
Right.
having my professional on,
Right.
and then now today I'm kind of like, all right, I'm good now, whatever. I rested up, so I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a good experience. It was a good experience.
That's
It was a good
good.
experience, yeah, man. So people don't know, YPN is basically every spring conference the YMCA's have. That's from anybody from anywhere in the United States come together. They meet at a local spot. Virginia Beach being the most popular one because it's on the beach.
Right.
Right. So it was everybody got the experience to after class go to the ocean front.
Okay.
Chill on the beach, walk the strip, see the restaurants, enjoy yourself. Luckily, this year we was able to stay at the Hilton, which is right under Catch 31 restaurant. So it was like all the vibes.
Right.
But the overall thing for the conference was to be able to get insight on guest speakers.
Got you.
Everybody comes around. They can ask you questions how you do this. At your department or give you guys like trades or tips. So, I had a couple of people come up to me, and be like, hey, how are you doing it at Portsmouth? Like, how where you get, these group numbers high, how you get these, how you recover from being low on PT revenue. I think we talked about last, I don't really sweat it, whatever, because I know the outcome of how we're going to make up the difference on the revenue.
Right.
Right. So I'll give it, sitting down, we were talking, But my favorite part of the conference had to be the guest speakers, and one of them being author Corey Shear. So this right here is a book called Closing the Trust Gap by Corey Shear. You can get this on Amazon. You can go to your local Barnes & Noble stores. So if you want to, very, very good author, good speaker. If you want him at any type of conference, maybe your church or whatever, you reach out to him, all his information.
Or maybe the podcast.
Or probably the podcast, whatever.
Okay.
All right. First of all, if he watches this, the guy is phenomenal what he do. The dude's like 6'8". He's a tall guy.
Right.
Tall guy, right? And he talks about bridging the gap, to being successful as a leader,
right?
Manager, overall, anything in general, right?
Got you.
And he told a story that kind of connected probably with me and you, for say. I don't know, I'll tell you how it is, and you tell me if you agree, right? So he was the type of person. He's very quiet. I
Okay.
said, yo, that would be me, you
Right.
know. And he was bullied. Now I wasn't bullied, but I was very very quiet.
Right.
And he said that in high school, he no, it was in middle school. He got bullied. They took him out of school for like I think 6 months, whatever. Put him into like a private institute, kind of try to give himself his mental. Because back then, in those days, whatever, we wasn't really pushing him for mental healthness,
Right,
which
right,
is true,
right.
which is true.
Right.
And once he came back, it was that time his sophomore year, freshman year of high school, and he gets in. He said, which is everybody can relate, on this, whatever. When you go to lunch at different tables in the high schools, right? You
Yeah.
got like, you look around like
Different
dang.
cliques. And,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And there was one table that was empty, and that's the table he sit at, right? He didn't find that click. You know what I mean? And I was like, dang, man, because it's funny because we talked about it literally on the last podcast, whatever. You from me being that 4-year Letterman, whatever. You looking around, kind of like, oh man, this is different.
Right.
He said like that determines you right there, man. Like where you're gonna be in life or how you're gonna grow in life. And
Gotcha.
I sat there, man. I was just locked in. I was like, yo, this is like, if this ain't God talks to me right now, like, you and Mr. Will just talked about it. And I brought this guy right here
Right.
to tell you. And I'm like, wow, And he was saying like maybe the third or fourth day, 4 guys saw them, whatever.
Yeah.
They was like, hey, can we join you?
Right.
You know what I mean? And from there, right, they locked in, they introduced each other, whatever, and they was like, they started eating lunch together, right?
Oh,
and
wow.
from there, they went to graduate high school,
Right.
college together, and they're the one who introduced him to a girl that's now he's married to for the past 25 years.
Wow. 25 years.
25 years, man.
Wow.
But he was saying that, what locked him in to be a leader was that, we're gonna go through a season, but as a true leader is how we get out of those seasons, right? And how we're going to conquer that season. It said it took, and again, speaking to me, it took a lot of therapy,
Right.
right? Because after being bullied, stuff like that, and I want to say I've been bullied, but I've been through some type of traumas in my life when I was younger to
Okay.
kind of push me, to different, ways that I was acting, whatever.
Right.
I wasn't in my right state of mind, right? But I think the trauma and then me finally getting that help, getting that leadership role, and then leading the team, maybe the person I am now, and the professional I am,
Gotcha.
right? And I was kind of like, man, and I was like, yo, that was the most thing that I wanted to hear me being at that conference, man. I was kind of like,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you had a moment.
I definitely had a moment.
It was all worth. It was worth it for you in that.
It
one
was
moment.
worth it.
Yeah.
He talked for like an hour and 30 minutes. For me, it felt like 10 minutes.
Right.
And I talked to one of my people beside me. He was like, man, he spoke for like an hour and 30 minutes. I said,
Right.
really?
You were like, yeah.
I said, no. I said, I was locked in. I was
Right.
locked in, man. And I was kind of like, I'm not the only person that goes through these situations, right, to become where I'm at. I'll probably never figure that I would be like going to these conferences, whatever, and hearing these speakers, because of the seasons that I've been through. And, it started with them in high school. It started with me pretty much middle school and, high school, whatever. And I'm like, man, like, dude, I had to go through that. If I didn't go through that, I'd probably be on a different path. And probably the path, not the path that I want to be on.
Right.
And I'm like, whoa, like, I had to I sat back in my hotel and I'm like, yo, man, like, all right, cool. Like, this is why I'm here.
Right.
This is why I'm in a nice hotel. This is why I'm sitting around these people, right? You know, it's to the point like the president of Southern the Roads, Anthony Walters. You know, I'm walking, and how me and you're talking. You know, black male.
Right.
You know, around our age. And he came up to me and said, "Man, what's up, baby?" I'm like, you know, and I'm like, oh, you know, we grip each other, whatever. You know, like, oh, that's something good, whatever. Like me pulling the garage. I said, "Hey, Anthony," like Marco, you know. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, you know, you gotta catch these small things, whatever, you know.
Right.
I'm like, wow, like this is, accept your flowers, Marco. Like stop, like slow down and like, you know, accept it, whatever, man.
Right.
So
right.
yeah, man, it was.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's big. I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy that experience paid so many dividends, that you were able to take so much away from it, including, it sounds like, encouragement.
Oh yeah.
You know, we don't necessarily seek validation from one another. Sometimes we do. We don't necessarily, you know, get dependent on somebody else bigging us up, but it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good when somebody does it. And,
Yeah, man.
and especially it feels good when somebody recognizes your effort.
Yeah.
You know, so like when you're trying to do something, trying to accomplish things, and you put your head down, and then you come through that and you're like, you know, you did it.
Yeah.
But then it's like when other people see you did it, and that's one of the things, going back to like coming and doing the Day of the Life with you, seeing other people like recognize your effort sometimes. Again, it's not what we need to keep going, but it helps.
It helps.
It helps.
It definitely helps, man. And I'm definitely going to practice more, just kind of slowing down, you know, listen to what people are saying. I'm like, all right, you know, cool. I mean, it was to the point like, you know, I brought Marco and Donna, you know, to experience that, like, you know, and a lot of people were saying like you brought your family, like oh my God, like I never thought about that. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like I might as well, right? And it's just, you can see Marco turn his head like left to right, and my wife kind of on like whoa, you know, like you see people how they talking to me, you know, how they're kind of like, oh man, like this is like, you know, and it's funny, you know, me and my wife had a moment. It was like, would you ever expect 10 years in marriage we have, you know, and we went, God knows we went through our struggle, right? And she kind of had like a teary moment, kind of like, I would never thought that we would be in here.
Wow.
I said, look to her, I said, me neither. I thought, you know, I'd just be working like a regular class job, whatever. And she was like, oh my, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, we get, you know, she gets the, and I said this, whatever, when I succeed, my family succeed, you know what I mean? Like,
that's
it was
a goosebump moment.
Yeah,
right
it was
there,
a proud moment, man. Like, pull it to the hotel with them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Marco was kind of like, you know, like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, running to the room, you know, I'm like, wow, like, I'm on the 10th floor looking down, you know? And I'm like, yeah, man, like, hey, man, you know, and I said to myself, like, you did this, Marco. Like, hey, man, you know, you did this for your family, you know? Like, and I'm going to continue to do it. Like I said, I would be selfish if I stay in the comfort zone, knowing that if I move higher up, my awards get bigger. Right? That's why I told myself on the podcast show, I'm like, you know, I succeed the level I am right now. Let's move on and continue to grow. And I met people that are executive directors of health and wellness. I said, what is that? They were saying, like, it's kind of like being the president of that. And I was kind of like, that's what I want right there. That's my next one. That's the next I'm going for. And certain Y associates have it, you know. Certain people were talking to me, you know, and I'm kind of like, all right, cool. You know, so I'm just sitting there weighing, kind of like in my mind, weighing options, kind of like I can go this way, I can go this way, I can go that way. So I'm like, all right, let's narrow it out and see what goes from here. Now I'm comfortable now. I'm kind of like, you know, Mark, you got this. You got this. You know, I'm looking around the room like, you know, but it was overall good experience. Everybody had a great time. Some people, you know, they went, what you should, and it's funny, the president said, hey man, these next 2 days, it's yours. Have a good time.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration, man.
Yeah.
You know, but
and some people,
you know, I'm a man. I had to be in my P's and Q's. And I had to make sure everybody knew, like, you know. So, funny story. And I'm gonna kind of weave around it, whatever, you know. So, we had on Wednesday, everybody went to Camp Guam, which is in Virginia Beach. Didn't know about the camp, never knew. It's an outside camp, have log cabins, outside basketball court,
Right.
nice lake, which I didn't know that. I'm like, dang, like we have all this, and I don't know about it or whatever, right? So they offered everybody free adult beverages. Sometimes you got to be like, hey, you know your limits, whatever.
Right.
So luckily they were doing like beer and salsa, which I don't drink. So I'm
Right.
kind of like, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. So but the next night, they've given out Coronas, and then I learned, because I'm coming down to the function, and I'm like, why does everybody seem so cheerful and happy with them? I'm like, what's going on? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And they were saying like, yeah, they're upstairs getting it in between classes. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I'm like, all right, well, I ain't gonna put two. So I'm sitting there, and I said, I'm gonna have one Corona or whatever, and I'll have some snacks. And then later on that night, I had Marco, my wife, with me. You see everybody just getting it in, having a good time at the pool.
What?
I'm like, all right, cool. Everybody having a good time.
But
On the last day, everybody got to get up and talk on the speaker or whatever. One of the names, which I'm not going to say, got up and she was like, "Excuse my voice, but I'm hungover." She said, "I had a time."
Yeah.
And
yeah,
and everybody started like, yeah. And I'm sitting having my Starbucks coffee, like,
Oh.
dang, all right, well, I missed that, whatever. I'm good, whatever, man. But they deserve it. They worked hard for it. Everybody works hard. For me, I just like to be professional, and it's not something not being professional. I think they just finally want to get loose and stuff with it. Which is, it's totally fine to have that moment. One of the classes that I went to, they were saying like, take your moment, take your break. Take your break. This is your break, right? Yeah. And they showed by raising hands how many of y'all every year lose PTO. I wrote my hand, both my hands. I said I lose like 5 weeks of PTO.
Yeah.
And she looked at me. She was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm working." She was saying like, "When you take breaks?" I said, "When I can." And one of the girls was like, "He don't take breaks." I was like, "Oh, you snitch." I was like, she was like, "Yo, like, take it, man. Take it. The why's still gonna be here, man.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? If you the job that you're doing, if you're doing a good job, the why's gonna be there. The why's, I was gone for 3-4 days. I went to walk on Saturday, check on everything was perfectly fine. I was like, dude, So it was overall good experience.
Good.
I loved it. I loved it. We got something coming up called Remley.
Okay.
Remley, I think, is going to be hosted. I think it's between New Orleans or Baltimore, either or. But it sounds like I'm in the running because they were talking to me like, Marco, like, just FYI, just don't unpack your bags too quickly because I think it's in 2 weeks. Kind of like, hey, like, just be aware. So I might gotta travel to New Orleans or Baltimore. Baltimore, unfortunately, 4-hour drive. They say you gotta drive, but they pay.
Right.
New Orleans airline ticket over there.
Right.
Hoping New Orleans, so I can go get me a baguette, whatever, and chill for me on French Quarters.
Yeah.
Baltimore, it's fine too. I give me some, get some crab cakes, whatever. Keep it going, man. But overall, man, good couple of days for myself, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Like for me, listening to that, that could be an episode of the podcast just by itself.
No, because we got
other stuff. We got other stuff. But if just how inspirational it was, hearing you talk about the different things that took place for you, the different feelings you were having, the different like you said, you had your kind of like supervisor hat on.
Yeah.
But you were comfortable in that. Like it wasn't like you had your supervisor hat on, but the whole time you wanted to be doing, partying or whatever like that. Like, no, you were comfortable being dad, supervisor, family man.
Yeah,
and for a lot of people, like, I don't know if every man gets to a point where they're comfortable with that part of their life.
Right.
Like, some people kind of, I think they get stuck in wishing they could have like the 20s, that part of their life, and just, even though we know that that's probably where we bumping our head the most, a lot of people, the fun and some of the more risky behavior, for some people, they get to a point where it's like, I got kids and family, I can't even do that if I wanted to. It's like, I feel like maturity-wise, we get to a point where we should be happy and fulfilled by being the boring dad.
Absolutely, man. If I'm the boring dad, then I must
you
be.
Love it.
I love it then. I mean, like I was happy. Like in between class, it's traffic hour, right?
Right.
So from Virginia Beach where I was at, it's like high. I think it took 55. It said 55 minutes to get, like, God, almost an hour to get to my house, whatever.
Wow.
But I was sitting there cruising, got my music, chilling, whatever.
Right.
Mark was sitting on the front porch, like ready, like I'm ready for, you know what I mean?
Right.
I was a proud husband, a proud father, and I'm like, yo, like, I'm doing this for my family. Like,
Yeah.
who? Why shouldn't you feel the opposite? What I gonna do? Like, what was the deal? Like, and everybody at the conference kind of like, I never thought about bringing my family. You know what I mean? Not
Right.
everybody's kind of like, whoa, like, hey, let's,
Right. 'Cause everybody doesn't value their family the same. So like you're sitting in that traffic and you're looking at that, and to you, it's not in any way like a burden. It's not in any way something that you're not looking for. You're looking forward to whatever it takes to go get your family and let them experience it
Dude.
with you.
Nah.
Everybody doesn't have that same fulfillment like that,
Yeah,
man. So that's a blessing.
That's definitely my mentality, man.
Yeah, that's a
If
blessing.
it's to the point, the stuff that I get,
Yeah.
they get. Like we had a candy bar. I don't
Right.
eat candy. I was scooping up Skittles, gummy bears, whatever. Went
Yeah,
upstairs.
hooking
there you
them
go,
up.
Mark. Marco was like,
Yeah.
oh, like
Yeah.
when he first got to the room, he was like, free popcorn, free. So he was sitting in the corner, like, and my wife was like, Marco, like, what is that? Like, just act like you did it before. He was just sitting like, I'm like,
I can see him right now.
yeah, he was sitting there. I'm like, dude, like it's all good.
He
whatever.
probably was so happy.
He was happy to the
was
point
so happy.
like my wife came upstairs. They went to out on the beach, whatever, and I was at the functions with her. I said, hey, look, y'all, Joe, y'all say here's the key. Like, do what you got to do.
Right.
And there was a free layout of a fruit chain cheese. So I was like, let me make my wife a nice. I put like a whole bunch of grapes, strawberries. I put it nice with cheese. I put it on the
Little
plate. Hey,
charcuterie
I said,
thing.
she went upstairs. She texted me. It's like, oh my God, somebody brought. I said, that was me. She was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? I was like this. I was like your boy from. I was like this in the mirror, like yeah.
Simple things,
Yes,
man.
the simple things.
Simple things,
It's a
man.
simple
Just taking the
things.
time. Like a lot of times we think big money, big expensive trips,
Yeah.
cars, jewelry, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And just to take the time to think of her and present her with
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When they going and doing what they doing, you going and doing what you doing.
Dude, yeah.
A lot of people would be okay. Well, I understand you got to go do that. Don't worry about
Yeah.
us over here. And but nah, you thinking about
Yeah.
them. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking about them, man. Oh my
Yeah.
God, man. And I think
That's the- I
the
like it.
topping on the ice cream, the cherry on the ice cream,
Yeah.
for me is that I finally did something I never did my whole life. And I kind of had a moment to myself.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be cheesy, whatever, but
Be cheesy, man.
breakfast was at 7:30 in the morning, so the sun's still kind of like rising,
Yeah.
whatever. And I got my breakfast, and I was like, instead of sitting like in the ballroom, I said, you know what? I'm gonna sit at the glass window, which it faces the beach.
Right.
And I was sitting there, and I was cutting my eggs and my sausage. And I'm looking up, and I see it rising.
movie, man.
And it felt, for me, it felt different because I never did it before. I took the time, and I was sitting, I'm eating whatever,
Yeah.
whatever, and the sun just slowly
watched the
rising.
sun climb,
and
yeah.
I was like, wow, it's beautiful. And this is no lie. You can ask anybody. I'm not trying to be cheesy. While rising, there's 6 dolphins jumping over.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I dropped my fork and knife. I said, well, God dang, I never saw a dolphin a day in my life
Right.
in Virginia. Like,
And
it
you-
just
yeah,
hopped.
yeah.
Just like that. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there, I'm eating my
Yeah.
eggs and drinking my coffee.
Yeah.
And then one of my partners, Amber, she's the front desk manager. She was saying, Marco, you see this? I said, I do see. And I said, and it is the most beautiful thing I
There you
ever
go.
seen a day in my life.
There you go.
Because I took the time just to sit down
Yeah,
for
and
me,
appreciate
whatever,
it.
and appreciate what I got, whatever. And
Yeah.
that, again, that wasn't God giving me the award like Marco, like,
Right.
you
Right.
deserve this, whatever. And I was like, wow, man, dude, I'm trying to tell you, most beautiful thing I ever seen.
I believe it,
From the
man.
sun, like,
Yeah.
it was phenomenal. And
Yeah.
I recommend for any.
Did you take a picture of it?
I did. I think I
Okay.
sent it to you. It was like right there. I couldn't
probably
get the
did.
dolphins,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But the sun rising. I text my wife. I said, I need to take more time for myself just to sit and just sit.
Right.
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 And she was
Ooh,
like,
boy, you
right,
nailed- you hitting some
right,
stuff on the
right.
head right now.
And she says, well deserved. I love you.
Right.
Enjoy every minute of it. Like,
Right.
Like I told her, like I was trying to give her involved with everything. She said, Marco, no, like it's like enjoy it, whatever, and and I can say that, now that I see, sometimes as men, our wife, we put our wives through stuff, right? And I'm like, my wife is well deserved much more, and she will, of the stuff that I'm doing now, because you know what I mean, like the stuff that I could say on this podcast, whatever, like I wasn't 100% in my right mind way back in marriage, whatever, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Job wise, but
there's a lot of things going on,
yeah,
man.
there's a lot of stuff that was going on.
A lot of stuff going on,
right?
We still trying to get ourselves together.
We still
early
right,
on, man.
right? That's why I don't care. People can judge or whatever. People might have different opinions, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care, but I tell myself right now, as long as I move up on the ladder, I'm sure enough gonna give my family what they well deserve, whatever.
Right.
I'm gonna give Marco, that bag of candy, or my wife that platter of cheese and strawberries and grapes, whatever. I'm gonna give them that, no matter what.
To the best of your ability.
To the best of my ability. I say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I told people like, hey, you really don't understand. Like she's well deserving.
Right.
So, Donna, if you're watching, I appreciate you.
Yes.
And I appreciate you, pushing me to where I'm at, because she's the one that kind of pushed me. Not kind of, she did. She did.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here.
Yeah. That encouragement, man, is so important from your partner.
Oh, absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
Like
if she was mute, I'd probably be like, all right, she's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes for us, we take it as being very vocal, whatever. It's that's how women speak, whatever, right? It takes the time for us to kind of just sit back and just listen, right? Like, all right, man, she has a point, right? But we're so in our feelings, whatever. We're taking it kind of like,
we want to be in control too.
Right. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, she was right. She was right.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? But she loved Florida, right? She loves Florida, love it. And I had to take her out of that atmosphere to be where I'm at. Now she's I could tell kind of like, you made the, she kind of looked at me kind of like, you made a good move, And I'm like, and that kind of warmed me up really well, kind of like, you did a good move for our family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for your family. Yeah, that's important, not for selfish reasons.
Not for selfish reasons.
For your family, because we know that's how God would have us do it.
Yeah.
God would want us to look out and provide for our family, and provide means money, but provide means love. Like in all ways, you know what I'm saying? Security, stability, right? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those things come with money. A lot of those things are priceless. A lot of those things you can't buy.
Yep.
You can't buy the confidence and trust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the encouragement, like you said, you can't buy that, man. No. You can't buy it. There's no way to buy it. So,
nah, man.
The fact that you recognize it, that you speak on it and share it with people is definitely going to help somebody to stop and, you know what I'm saying, just look at their situation and figure out, you know what I mean, either how can I get to a place like that where, you know what I mean, I feel fulfilled in my roles, or if I'm already there, am I taking time to realize it? Am I taking time to watch the sunrise?
Yeah.
And think about all that it's taken to get to this point and how thankful I am to be here. And that's what that kind of sunset and the dolphins kind of represents to me. It's just a moment of you saying, I'm thankful to be here physically, career-wise, spiritually, to just be in this moment. Everything that's here, my wife and my son are in the room. They're happy. I'm happy. I'm healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just kind of, giving time to praise God through just being still.
Yeah, man.
And that kind of leads me to like something that I just did.
All right.
And we talked about that being still thing. We talked about what's called contemplative prayer, where, we used to praying and asking for things and even giving thanks for things. But prayer in a way where you just sit and you let God speak to you.
Yeah.
You sit, you're not bringing anything other than your whole self before God, and letting God just work in you and around you, and listening and watching, like just seeing what's going on and feeling what's going on, and letting God lead you in different ways. So we went on a camping trip.
Awesome. Myself
and my 13-year-old son.
Okay.
So they have to be it's men's only, and you have to be 13 or older, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, this is the first year that he was able to go. This was the second time I'm going. The first time I went by myself.
I remember,
Yeah, and it's roughly 24 hours. But the biggest part of it is like just stepping away from all the hustle and bustle, getting into God's word, and leaning on one another as men.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like we all struggling with things, and it really, that camping trip was really a larger version of what we do every time we have a podcast.
Okay. Yeah.
It really was. It was just like roughly 40 men.
Okay.
We got one brother that's very talented on the grills. That's you.
That's me.
And our, you know what I'm saying? He's talented on the grills. He's chefing it up. And then what he does is he has a sign-up sheet. And so he might pull like 5 or 6 helpers. You sign up for a meal. You come help him do the meal. And so, you know what I mean? It's got a kind of like a military feel to it, not as far as like discipline, but just as far as like camaraderie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're together, we're doing this together. And then we have the first night we got there a little after 5. And the first thing you do is you got to set up your tent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So me and my son, we set up our tent, found our spot. And so we got to do that together. And I'm just like moments like this, handing my son a mallet so he can beat down the tent stakes. Like it's powerful, man. But if you don't take the time to like see it, if I'm rushing and I'm like, okay, I gotta do this next, and I don't take the time to just watch my son do it, even if he's doing it wrong, if I don't take the time to watch that, I'm really not thankful. I'm not in the moment, right? So I'm watching him do that, and I'm like, that's. How about you try it like this? And then one of his buddies came over. He was like, "Can I help y'all?" And he helping or whatever like that. So I and that was a good thing too, because it was one of those moments where he's 13, so like I can't be hover dad. I can't be right beside you. Like 13, I gotta give you some space. So you and your friend figure out some stuff while I do it over here.
Right.
I'll come back behind you and say, nah, I turn it a little bit and do that. And then I go back to doing what I'm doing and let him have his space. And there was a lot of that because all of the boys his age, they had their own group. And it was like 4 or 5 of them. They had their own group. So when the men, we broke off into groups to discuss different topics. You know, everything was basically around like prayer and stuff like that. When we broke off to do different topics, they broke off together and got there, you know what I'm saying? Their little teen summit, you know what I mean? They got to do their little thing while we did ours. But the first night we got there, we set up, and then we had worship. So it was one brother with a guitar and a microphone, and another brother with a guitar. So we just sang some worship songs, and that was amazing. Then during that, like some of the brothers, the leaders there, it's like 5 or 6 leaders. They stepped up and they offered anybody need prayer, anybody going through anything, you know what I'm saying? Now's the time, you know, to let it go. And what I tell you one thing, one of the more powerful things I ever seen in my life, and again, we do it here all the time, is being vulnerable with one another. Letting each other into those spaces where we might be kind of like shameful and like, man, like from the outside looking in, you know, it might seem like you have it all together. So something I might be dealing with, I say, man, Marco probably never dealt with that, man. He's stronger than that. He probably never, but until I say it to you and you say, I know what you're talking about, we never know. And so like that was a moment, 40 brothers together, and like you like, man, like me, I lost it. I was like, I walked up to a brother, I was like, I got a daughter about to graduate. Like, I can't alone on my own power, like I can't be the father that I want to be. Like I need God. So I just need prayer that God like come beside me and like help me to be the father that I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So like you just look around and brothers just losing it. We sobbing. We just losing it in the presence of God, and it was just powerful, man. It was just powerful. So we had moments like that. Of course, we had moments of celebration. We had a big fire in the middle, so we had moments of dudes carrying around logs and you know what I'm saying? We throw a football, we doing all kind of stuff. We had those moments. And then you know, we had a real powerful moment where one of the brothers in his profession, he struggles with some with some different things as far as like his faith in his workplace, like not being able to really rely on his faith or lean on his faith in his workplace because people might criticize him or something like that. And he just doesn't feel like he's free to be the person he needs to be. And so, like, we all just gathered around him and prayed for him, man.
Okay, yeah,
we just all gathered around and prayed for him. And the brothers are sobbing and crying. And again, like you said, people might think it's cheesy.
Nah, it's not.
But when you
cheesy.
have, see, us who go to therapy,
Yeah.
and us who like kind of
I
like,
thought about like I had that state of mind a long time ago, but
yeah,
not no more.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we get through it. We realize, and so you just took that breath, like it's like you realize it's like I can't carry that around, man. No man can carry that around, man. No man can carry that around. And if you are somebody who says, "Nah, I don't know," you end up being hard towards something else.
Yeah.
Like you end up closing yourself off to a lot of things, like experiencing the sunset and some dolphins. You can't experience the sunset and dolphins if you like, oh, I got it, I'm in control.
Yeah.
You're not in control of that sunset and those dolphins.
Yeah.
You can't make that happen.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you think you are, how I don't need no emotions or whatever. To look around and have joy, that's an emotion. You gotta have, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta have it.
And so, joy and pain, like sunshine and rain, right?
Yeah.
So if we have joy, we gotta have pain too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people try to live right in the middle, just ignoring everything. Nah, so it's not healthy.
Beautiful,
so this weekend was a very healthy weekend. Me and my son bonded. As soon as I had the brother pray on me as a father, of course, you know I'm trying not to get emotional right here.
Man, hey, it's all right.
But
all right.
I went and I grabbed my son. I took him to the side and I lost it with him because I said,
that's okay.
It was one of those moments where I was like, son, forgive me for all the times that I was
It's okay.
a jerk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Forgive me for all the times that I was angry, or that I felt like a situation wasn't in my control and I took it out on you and your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Forgive me for all the times I showed you that, you know, I'm out of control with my anger or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The times that I forgot about who you are, you know?
Yeah.
And the blessing that you are. And I told him, I said, I'm thankful for you. You're a blessing to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I necessarily had that moment if I don't go to that camping trip. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I might have it 20 years from now when he's older and he's going to therapy. He's telling me, Dad, you know what I mean? Like maybe he's like, Dad, when I was 10 and you used to yell at me all the time, like it made me feel, you know what I mean? Maybe I had a moment then.
Yeah. You got to think on that, man.
Yeah.
Right?
So to have that was powerful. I'm thankful for it. And I know me and him are closer. And I know I can speak for myself and probably everybody there. We're closer to God. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
And by getting closer to God, I think we get closer to ourselves and taking care of ourselves.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, you got to.
So
You got to, man.
yeah, man. That's the where my dad's at. This weekend we were camping and going to conferences, man. Like we were building and getting better.
Yeah.
And if we're lucky to have a chance to get better at it, then you know what I mean. We should be thankful.
You should. It's definitely. It was definitely something that we both needed this weekend at the, at the function that we was at, whatever. But I think too. I told her about I was going back to therapy.
Right.
On the other podcast show, and I went back, and we were talking. And I was telling them about, the stuff that I was going through and stuff like that. I was talking about, going to the conferences and stuff like that. And overall, I was telling my therapist, I was kind of like, she told me to take that time. She said, Mark, you're doing so much for your family, but you're not taking time for yourself, right? To kind of slow down, whatever,
right.
And we can touch on it a smidgen. I'll probably reflect on the next podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
I told her I do still have my times that I do see myself still as that little boy compared to my brothers.
Yeah.
And she's really working me for that. She said, "Man, Marco, like we gotta." She writes in her book. She's like, we gotta tame on this. Like why? Like why?
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I tell her, I'm not lying. So I don't know a why.
Right.
It is whatever. But overall, man, this weekend was a good experience.
Success overall.
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. Yeah.
You got your sports support stuff ready, man? You don't got? Are you sure you ready?
Hey, Mr. Will, you know what we forget about?
What's that?
I like that.
Sports report.
Sports report.
This is your sports report brought to you by Where My Done podcast. In the NFL, with the schedule release coming out, it's actually kind of crazy because I never saw a Thanksgiving Eve game for Rams or a Christmas Day game for Rams after the schedule release on May something. In the NBA, sadly, when the Lakers get eliminated in a blowout series 4-0, and the Minnesota Timberwolves losing to the San Antonio Spurs, and after it makes it out, Philadelphia 76ers fans, they out 4-0
Bring out the brooms.
in the MLS FIFA. With the World Cup coming ahead, with some of your star players from each country not going to play, like Neymar Jr., Messi, in the
MLB.
MLB.
Yeah.
On opening day, the Los Angeles Dodgers sold a limited edition cup with Shohei Ohtani. That's for literally $70 just for one cup,
Oh wow.
a limited edition cup in CSL. With the Portsmouth Dragons season Dragon season in the with some tournaments coming up, Memorial Day weekend tournament, and some sand soccer. Don't get messy in the sand soccer. And literally, now you're about to get ready for sand soccer. And some things you probably need, some essentials like sunscreen, some special shoes, and literally have fun. That's your supposed to report about my dad's podcast. Where my dad's at, coming at you coming for more. Like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment any topics for the next podcast. Where my dad's at, right here.
My man.